Today, children, I'm going to read to you one of my favourite books. I'm sure that you will have read this one as well. It's Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. Now, this book was written a long time ago, and Maurice Sendak, he illustrated the book with pictures of monsters that he based on his own family. As a child, he used to sit and watch members of his large family have parties and gather together, and he always wanted to be part of it. So this is his interpretation of some of the members of his family, believe it or not. What I really like about this book is that it shows how a little boy who loses his temper gets wrapped up in his own thoughts. What's really clever about it is that on the first page, the picture is quite small, but as Max loses his temper and gets wrapped up inside his own thoughts more and more, the pictures on each page actually become bigger and bigger until he's completely absorbed inside his own mind. The picture fills the page, and then when he properly starts jumping around in his room, losing his temper, the pictures actually extend over 2 pages and get bigger and bigger and bigger until they fill the entire page, both pages. It also shows that no matter how badly he loses his temper, his mummy still loves him and forgives him for what he's done. Where the Wild Things Are by Maurice Sendak. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another, his mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, "I'll eat you up." So he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all around him. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max, and he sailed off through night and day and in and out of weeks and almost over a year to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, "Be still," and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him the king of all wild things. "And now," cried Max, "let the wild rumpus start." They went, howling at the moon, swinging through the trees, riding on each other's backs. "Now stop," Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then, all around, from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, "Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so." And Max said no. The wild things roared their terrible roars and gnashed their terrible teeth and rolled their terrible eyes and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye and sailed back over a year and in and out of weeks and through a day and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him, and it was still hot.